For thousands of years, people have reported mysterious creatures hidden in dark depths, lurking in lonely mountains. Astonishingly, whether in Africa, Asia, or Europe, the stories are strikingly similar. Coincidence? Or is there something bigger behind it? What if ancient myths are not mere fantasy, but distorted memories of real beings? Fossil discoveries and archaic fears support this. Perhaps every legend hides a spark of truth, a shadow from the past that has endured to this day. Number 7. Jackalope. In North American folklore, there are tales of an unusual hybrid creature, the jackalope, a rabbit with antlers. In Germany, a similar creature is known by the name Wolpertinger. Similar mythical creatures also appear in other regions. Small, usually cute animals with unexpected, often threatening features. What at first glance seems like pure fantasy could have a real origin, because in natural history, there actually was a horned rodent called Ceratogaulis. This extinct animal lived about 5 million years ago in North America and was the only known rodent with real horns on its head. The exact function of the horns is still unclear to this day. Protection, territorial fights, or mate selection are being discussed as possible purposes. But their very existence proves that even among small mammals, there were once spectacular exceptions that differ greatly from anything we know today. So perhaps there is more reality in the jackalope than one might expect. Number 6. Kappa. In Japanese mythology, the Kappa is a notorious water creature. With greenish skin, a turtle-like body, and a water-filled cavity on its head, it appears bizarre, yet its actions are often dark. The Kappa is said to drag children into the water, attack animals, or challenge humans. At the same time, it is considered cunning, cultured, and even knowledgeable in healing, an ambivalent being, evoking both danger and respect. Interestingly, its appearance strongly resembles a real prehistoric animal, the archelon. This sea turtle lived during the time of the dinosaurs and was the largest known specimen of its kind, up to 4.5 meters long, with a massive shell and a powerful beak. Its massive body must have been truly impressive, especially when fossil remains were discovered. It is quite conceivable that early discoveries of such fossils in Japan or neighboring regions contributed to the emergence of the Kappa myth. Fossilized bones protruding from riverbanks could have fueled both imagination and fear. So perhaps the Kappa is not just a mythical creature, but the cultural echo of a long-extinct being that once truly glided through the waters of ancient seas. Number 5. Nessie. For over a millennium, reports have circulated about a mysterious creature in Scotland's Loch Ness, affectionately called Nessie. It is said to have a long neck, a massive body, and flipper-like limbs, much like a prehistoric reptile. Despite numerous sightings and alleged photographs, a living specimen has never been found. What's fascinating is that Nessie's description closely resembles that of the Plesiosaurus, a marine reptile from the Jurassic period. With a length of up to 15 meters, about the size of 3 SUVs, and its characteristic long neck, it was a striking inhabitant of the ancient seas around 150 million years ago. Some researchers suspect that the myth of Nessie may have arisen when early fossils were discovered. Without today's understanding of paleontology, such finds could easily have been interpreted as evidence of a living sea monster. Whether Nessie exists or not, the fascination remains. Perhaps it stems less from reality than from a deep longing for the inexplicable hidden in dark waters. Number 4. Mapinguari. In the dense rainforests of South America, indigenous communities have been reporting for centuries about a terrifying creature, the Mapinguari. This legendary monster is said to have a central eye, a wide horizontal mouth on its belly, and to move slowly through the jungle, stamping and emitting a bestial stench. It is described as dangerous, but also shy and, above all, ancient. Scientists mostly classify the Mapinguari as pure folklore. However, what is striking is its resemblance to a real animal from the past, the giant sloth, which lived in South America during the Ice Age. Some species reached the size of modern elephants, moved slowly, had powerful claws, and stood upright to reach tall plants, just like a two-legged monster. With the end of the Ice Age and increasing human hunting, these animals disappeared. However, fossils, rock paintings, or perhaps even the last sightings could have been passed down through generations until they turned into myths. Perhaps the Mapinguari is not just a product of imagination, but a cultural memory of an animal that once truly roamed the jungle. Silent, gigantic, and now alive only in stories. Number 3. Crocuta. From the Indian subcontinent comes the dark legend of the crow dog, also known as Crocuta. This terrifying creature is described as being as large as a horse, with the shaggy body of a hyena, razor-sharp teeth, and the disturbing ability to perfectly imitate human voices. Old tales recount that it calls out to travelers in the dark, only to lure them into a deadly ambush. What is particularly fascinating is that this description bears strong parallels to a real extinct predator, the Hyaenilurus. This animal lived about 25 million years ago and was one of the largest carnivorous land dwellers of its era. With its massive skull, powerful jaws, and muscular build, it hunted large prey and was likely terrifying in appearance. Fossil discoveries suggest a predator that can be classified somewhere between a hyena, a cat, and a dog. A true one-of-a-kind in evolution. Later encounters with real hyenas whose laughter and calls sound eerie may have kept such stories alive or rekindled them. It is quite possible that fossil finds, cultural stories, and real animal observations merged over centuries, thus creating the idea of a creature like the Crocuta, a hybrid of myth, misunderstanding, and prehistoric reality. Number 2. Bunyip. For generations, the Australian Aborigines have told stories of a mysterious creature said to live near rivers, lakes, and swamps. The Bunyip. This amphibious monster is often described as a mix of reptile, mammal, and worm, with large eyes, powerful limbs, a fin-like tail, and a deep, bone-chilling scream. Many legends warn anyone who gets too close to the Bunyip risks their life. Even though modern scientists consider the creature to be pure mythology, the origin of the story may lie in the real animal world, specifically in the Australian megafauna, the prehistoric animals that the first humans on the continent encountered. About 65,000 years ago, creatures such as Megalania, a gigantic lizard up to 7 meters long, and Thylacoleo, a predatory marsupial with razor-sharp teeth and powerful jaws, lived there. These animals likely disappeared due to climate change and human hunting, but their impressions may have lived on in the form of stories. Fossil discoveries, inexplicable noises, or strange tracks in the mud could have fueled the legend for thousands of years. The Bunyip, perhaps not a monster, but a cultural shadow of real encounters with prehistoric predators. Number 1. Leviathan. It is considered one of the most powerful sea monsters in mythology. A prehistoric monster that is already mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, the Leviathan. There, it appears as an invincible being from the depths, feared even by gods. But similar figures also appear in other cultures, giant, serpent-like creatures that roam the oceans and swallow ships. What's fascinating is that, in Earth's history, there really were animals that come close to this idea. One example is Paleophis colosseus, a prehistoric sea snake that grew up to 12 meters long, about the length of 4 small cars parked side by side. It lived around 50 million years ago in tropical waters, and if its fossil remains were found by early humans, could have served as the origin for mythological tales. Another real-life sea monster was Leviathan melvillei, a predatory whale with enormous, razor-sharp teeth that rivaled even those of the infamous megalodon. Its biblically inspired name directly references the Leviathan myth and underscores the gigantic, fearsome nature of this animal. Perhaps such creatures are the true origin of those tales, remnants of a time when the seas were ruled by giants.